Boom, ba 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 da 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 da. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. See if we get any people following. See if we get any people join us for our final build. I'll just wait and see if anyone comes in. Hello, people. Hello. Hola. ¿Cómo está? Bonjour. Nine. Let's see. Let's wait. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Where's everyone? Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, how you doing, Jimmy? How's the Jimmy doing? Jim. How's my audio? Can you hear me? Can you hear me today? Can you hear me today? Can you hear me today? Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, da, da. That's good. Well, we're gonna see if any other people join for the festivities. So we're just gonna wait for a little bit before I start. Gonna wait to see if any other stragglers show up to watch the build. Today we're gonna finish the workbench that I've been building out of salvaged material from a form job. The 2x10s that I'm using I pulled off, were salvaged from a form job that I did, and same with all the 2x4s. So kind of recycling and making myself a nifty little workbench. So we're going to do the final build and finish it up today. So, nice. Well, that sounds like fun. Well, anyways, we're not going to wait for the stragglers anymore. Now, in the previous videos, I showed you all how to make the base. These are the stands, pedestals, base, whatever you want to call them. I went over how to build them and the math to do it, and also how to do a flush lap joint. But if you don't feel confident in doing a lap joint, I thought I would just show you that you don't have to make the lap joint. You don't have to make a lap joint. You can actually just crisscross them, put a couple screws through it, and that's more than strong enough. And if you want to really make it strong, you can fill the pieces in between here and on the other side with 2x4, and that makes it a 1-ton support. But this here for a workbench and table is more than strong enough, so you don't have to carve it out and do a flush half lap. You can do just a standard crisscross lap. Like, nothing fancy about it, as you can see. Nothing fancy about that one. Really simple. All I do is just lap, then mortise it out. Not like the one that I showed in the video. In the video, it's a flush lap. We mortised it out, so that way it can sit in nice and flush. So, yeah, I've already measured out how big I want my workbench to be. So what I've done is I've taken 3 2x4s, to the length that I want. One of them I notched out. I notched it out on both ends because it's going to sit horizontally because it's going to be a structure support. The other two are just tie-in supports. And I cut a whole bunch of the 2x10 that I salvaged from the form job that I did. These will become the top, my countertop. Now they're not perfect. They're old. There's broken off screws stuck in them and stuff like that. They're pretty rough, but they're going to work. It's a workbench. It's going to get abused. So these will work fine. So I cut them down to the width that I want my bench to be. So assembling it is really simple. Let me get the horsey out of the way. And we'll take one of our stands, one of our supports. We'll take one of our 2x4s and we'll line it up so we're going flush to the edges. Now I'm going to grab my deck screws. I'm using 3-inch common deck screws, nothing fancy. We'll grab the Metabo impactor. I'm going to use the impactor for this. I could use a drill, but I don't feel like using a drill today. I feel like using my Metabo. So good. Now I'm just going to screw that one in nice and flush. Okay, I'm going to take my other one nice and flush. It's not the prettiest looking wood in the world. A little bit wet, a little bit rotten-y, but it will work. I'll just get these screwed on. We'll get one front here done. Pick her up. Get it all set on. Lovely dovely. Look at this. It almost looks like a workbench. Here, I'm going to pan the camera down just a little bit so you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. There you go. Nice. There. Got that one in. This one, no math needed. I'm just going to put it pretty much in the center. First, I'm going to get out of my trap. Oh, get out of my trap. Hop. Line it up about there. Gotta make a wee bit of a modification here. I didn't take enough off. I did not take enough off. Let's see here. That's better. Need to take another half an inch off. Okay, there we go. Much better. Put a couple more screws in there. Where did I put the drill? Where did I put my impact door? Oh, there it is. Grab a couple more screws. Now it looks center enough for me. Here we go. Now, the thing that you can do is you can put a support straight across here to there. And you can do some short diagonals to support, keep it rigid. But I'm going to be putting it tight against the wall. And I want it all wide open here because I'm going to put my vacuums and a cart underneath it. So when I put it in, I'm going to just put a back plate on there. And I'm going to put diagonals on the back to make it rigid so the wire is wide open. But for now, we're just going to put our boards on. And for that, I need a tape measure. And a pencil. And my marbles. Now, I want to put this in the center, so I'm going to go 80 inches divided by 2, which is 40. Now I got 9.5 divided by 2. So that's 4 3/4. That will be my first board. Now I'm starting from the center. Always start your boards when you're doing something like this from the center so you can trim off the excess and it kind of looks even and balanced. Now we're going to get the first one on. And I'm coming up from underneath with the screws. No, I'm not going through the top. You come up from underneath. Now, let's get our boards on, going both directions. See if we actually have enough cut here. This is a pretty chunky looking table, my friends. Pretty chunky looking workbench. I tell you, it's gonna be pretty. That's heavy duty. I think she'll serve the purpose just fine. Now what we do is we'll just carry on underneath, screwing them up, but we're going to make sure that they go on square, so we're going to do a little bit of squaring. But that's it. Pretty simple. And like I said, if you want to make it more rigid, you put a center board across the center, put a couple diagonals, cut yourself a couple on 22/5s, and kind of get them in there, and that kind of gives you rigidity. But I'm going to be putting it to the back of the wall. So I'm going to be putting a board from here to here, and I'm going to have a diagonal from here and a diagonal from there. And that's what's going to give me my rigidity, so I am all wide open, so I can put all my vacuums, all this stuff over here underneath it. But that is a workbench. But I'm also going to on this on the face. I'm going to put a 2x4. I'm going to take a 2x4. I'm going to run it on the face like this. Kind of give me a little bit of stuff because we're going to build a bench vise that will mount onto this thing using common everyday hardware from a hardware store. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive, no ordering crap, anything off Amazon. Plain simple hardware. Then we're going to make some other jigs for it. And out of that, we're also going to put some dog holes in these 3 boards here. We're going to put dog holes. So that way we can have the dog in our bench vise. We can push against it like this. So there's a lot of possibilities to do this. But this is made out of cheap lumber that literally was paid for. Doesn't need to be pretty because it's going to get used. It's going to get worked on. And if I need a smooth surface, I can just put a piece of MDF over top of a part of this and have myself a nice level smooth surface. But for a workbench, this is more than good enough. Quick and simple. Like this whole entire thing here, if you were to go to the store to buy it, would probably cost you $60 to $80. $60 to $80 in just using construction grade pine or spruce. So that's not too bad. And it's pretty simple. And it'll be pretty sturdy and strong so I can get her all done. Yeah. It would take me a long time to sit here and screw all this in. And if I sat here screwing all this in and finishing off, I wouldn't have any time to talk to you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's the plan. That's the strategy. Yeah. Where did I put my tape measure? There. Like that. So anyways, who all's here? Is there anyone else watching? Anyone else paying attention? Have any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Bueller? I think I'm just going to put the screws on the top because I'm not worried about it. None of that. I'm feeling lazy. Feeling lazy. So, questions? Anyone? Math. No math on this one. This part's not going to have any math. This part is just making screwing a whole bunch of wood down. Wood together. That's it. Quick and simple. Painless and easy. My golden rule, I put my pencil down. There, put pencil down. Looks square enough to me. Looks square enough to me. There we go. Now she's braced. That is solid. Look at that. That's friggin' solid. Nice, hey? Plain Jane, simple, quick, easy, painless. Love it. Big old heavy-duty workbench, my friends. Who all's here? Who all's here still? Who all's here? Hey, anyone watching? Anyone that cares? Blah!